Hi everyone, I'm Happy.
I'm Shirley.
So for our passport to the world, we'll be presenting China. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about all the great food in China, so we'll be mainly talking about hot pot for our presentation. So I'll just give a brief background of a hot pot. Hot pot is called 火锅 in Chinese. It's literal meaning is fire pot. It is a traditional Chinese cuisine, and there's multiple different things about where it originated from, but it's most commonly believed to have originated from the Han Dynasty, which is around 206 BC to 220 CE. The pot has many different meanings. The fact that the pot is round represents reunion, while all the food items that are included in making hot pot represents prosperity, and the rising fire and the steam that comes from the hot pot represents flourishing life. Hot pot is usually eaten during the winter and for celebrations and reunions.
So there are many types of pots used to make hot pot. One of the common types of pots is single flavor. You can either eat on your own or share with your friends. We will be introducing various kinds of soup base later on in the presentation. Next is the double flavored hot pot, which is best if some people in your group cannot eat spicy food. There are mainly two types. The one on the left is what we normally call 鸳鸯锅 or 阴阳锅as most Americans would call it. It's a 50-50 split, so that one side can be spicy and the other side is not spicy. The one on the right is a pot in a pot. The inner pot is much smaller, so it may be better for groups with only a few people that cannot tolerate spiciness.
Next is the 九宫格 pot. It is a spicy-only hot pot. The bottoms of this pot are all connected, and there are several benefits from this. First, a common problem that comes with one or two flavored hot pots is that your food might be stolen by others that you're eating with. For 九宫格, they avoid this by dividing the pot into 9 smaller portions so each individual can enjoy his or her own miniature hot pot. This was actually the reason it was developed. It was first created for strangers who wanted to eat hot pot, but there were limited seats, so they had to sit together. Even though the broth in all the sections are the same, since the bottom is connected, the level and concentration of spiciness and the temperature of the broth can be different depending on the section you're eating from. Because of this, various things are considered in regards to the types of food added to each section in order to bring out their best flavors. So the center section has the hottest temperature and is suitable for ingredients that takes less time to cook. These sections have medium temperature and is generally used for ingredients that need some time to incorporate the flavor. And lastly, the corner sections have the lowest temperature and is for ingredients that take the longest time to cook to taste.
Besides the three common types we just mentioned, there are many other kinds of hot pot, like a combination of the two types of double flavor hot pot we just talked about. It creates a three-section hot pot instead of two. As you can see, you can find hot pot that are divided into 2, 3, 4, or even 9 compartments. There are over 30 types of regional hot pot. We will just briefly talk about 7 of them. Chongqing and Sichuan hot pot are the most popular ones. Both of them are extremely spicy, but Chongqing hot pot is more greasy and spicier than the Sichuan hot pot. When people in Chongqing have hot pot, there are some ingredients that are considered a must-have, such as beef tripe and duck intestines. Their dipping sauce also must include sesame oil, fresh garlic, and chopped green onions. Sichuan hot pot can also be dry, meaning that it does not contain a soup base. It's equally popular as the traditional hot pot. Beijing is known for their instant boiled mutton hot pot, which focuses on the ingredients rather than the soup, and it's mainly fresh lamb based. Next is Hainan cuisine. One of the main agricultural products exported from Hainan is coconuts. So people there like to add coconut milk and juice along with the chicken to their hot pot. In Yunnan, wild mushroom hot pot is also popular due to the region's vast forests and abundant natural resources. People can find a wide variety of edible mushrooms. Hot pot from Jiangsu and Zhejiang often has chrysanthemum flowers added to give the broth a floral essence, while Manchu hot pot is sour rather than spicy because people enjoy adding pickled Chinese cabbage. Here are some pictures of the regional hot pots I just described. Chongqing and Sichuan hot pot usually use the 9宫格 styled pot, while the rest are usually single flavored.
And next we'll be talking about all the food ingredients that goes into making a hot pot. So for the soup stock of hot pot, basic stock is often made using water, salt, and various spices, but it can often be quite complex. It can sometimes be much easier to buy prepackaged soup base from the Asian supermarket, which is what Shirley and I did for this presentation, and we'll show you some pictures later. Here are pictures that we took from the Park 2 shop Asian supermarket when we tried to make our own hot pot. You'll see a couple of these pictures throughout our presentation. So for the starches, usually it's noodles such as vermicelli or glass noodles. You can also use udon and ramen, and we also like to use rice cake. For the vegetables, you can basically put in anything, but I like to use all kinds of shrooms. There's the golden mushroom and oyster mushroom. It's also commonly seen to include daikon, potatoes, bean sprouts, winter melon, bok choy, bamboo shoots, taro, lotus root, and also watercress. My favorite of those would be tongho, which is garland chrysanthemum. For the meat used in hot pot, it is most commonly thinly sliced. This may be include lamb, beef, sometimes pork, bacon, or chicken. And here are some of the pictures we got from the Park 2 Shop supermarket. While all the other ingredients we have mentioned are generally cooked in the boiling broth, sliced meat are commonly eaten by dipping and swishing the meat in the broth to quickly cook the meat, as seen in the picture on the right. From the region I'm from, we often use seafood as well. This can include mussel, prawns, scallops, clam, oyster, lobster, crab, seaweed, squid, octopus, and anything related to that. Hot pots also often contain meatballs and dumplings. This can be fish balls, squid balls, codfish balls. There can be egg dumplings, pork dumplings, crab meat sticks, mini sausages, and also fish tofu, which is one of my favorites. The two pictures on the sides are pictures we took from Park 2 Shop. which contains a wide variety of the meatballs. Lastly, you have the condiments. You can find pre-packaged condiments from the Asian supermarket, but I like to create my own. I've seen on the right there are common ingredients that are often used in these condiments, including hoisin sauce, chili oil, vinegar, sesame oil, cilantro, minced garlic, and green onion. And the center is what the condiments would look like when you have them mixed. So these are all the food items that we went through: the soup stock, starches, vegetables, meat, seafood, and condiments. You can basically put in anything you would like in hot pots. Here is a video provided by one of our friends, Vanessa Lin, when she prepared a Fujian-styled hot pot, which is seafood based, with her family. I'm just going to show you a simple way to make hot pot by yourself at home.
Hot pot restaurants can be fairly expensive because of all the ingredients involved into making them. The general pricing is about $30 per person. It's often much cheaper and enjoyable to make your own. Some restaurants I would recommend is Coco Hot Pot on Basil Road, which you can also find on Grubhub. Mala Hot Pot in Hilliard, which can be found inside Cam International Market, and Noodle and Hot Pot in Cincinnati, which is currently closed due to COVID. If you would like to make your own hot pot, there are 3 Asian supermarkets near Columbus you can go. There is Park to Shop, located in Dublin, and has a section dedicated to hot pots. Sunrise on West Henderson Road has slightly less variety, and there is also the Cam International Market in Hilliard.
As promised, here are some pictures of the hot pot that Shirley and I made a couple days ago. We decided to add in taro and Chinese yam. We had a lot of mushrooms, and we also had egg tarts brought by one of our friends. We had a lot of the meatballs and also tonghao on the side, and we decided to use sliced beef for the meat. Well, that's all we have about hot pots. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy eating your own hot pot. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We forgot to put on the contact information, but for me, it will be quack.57@osu.edu, and Shirley's is Chen.6602 at osu.edu. Thank you.